What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Realistic Career Mode. This is episode number 10, and as we enter the January transfer window, you will see on our emails, Loic Bade, the centre-back we had on loan from Stade Rennes, has been recalled early. The French club weren't happy that he wasn't playing enough, so they've recalled him. Not too fussed about that one, to be fair. He wasn't getting into the team too often. Konate is left on loan to Paris FC with an option to buy. Toffolo and Cook, we've put both on the transfer list. Both just, again, not getting much game time, so we're happy for them to move on elsewhere. Biacone and Surridge added to the loan list. And, well, it's the 1st of January and we've wasted absolutely no time in making our first signing of the save. This 29-year-old came through the youth academy at Nottingham Forest before moving to Newcastle back in 2014, where he enjoyed over 200 appearances for the Magpies, but in the summer they decided to sell him to Strasbourg. The French club seems to be doing well domestically, currently sat in 8th in Ligue 1, but considering the defender had never played outside England before this move, I felt it was unrealistic. Plus, at the age of 29, he still has a good few years left in him at centre-back, so I felt it was only right to bring him back to where it all began, to the City ground, and boy do we need him. We're yet to keep a clean sheet this season. Can Jamal be the difference maker? We've lost Bade, Cook is on the transfer list and Yates is out injured, so the centre-back's arrival could not be better timed. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Jamal Lascelles. Shortly after the arrival of Lascelles, we would make another signing, and it would be another defender. Preempting the departure of the unhappy Serge Aurier, I felt as though we should get some cover at right wing back, and although the player is nowhere near the rating of Aurier, he does meet one of the board's key objectives: sign 2 players from North America. Born in Santa Cruz, California, the winger, now converted wing back, has spent the last 11 years with Sunderland, representing them in the Premier League, Championship and League One, but it was time for him to leave the Stadium of Light. We were willing to pay around £750,000 for the 27-year-old, but the Sunderland boss countered with an interesting offer. They wanted a straight swap with defensive midfielder Cafu, who is on the transfer list and wasn't making many appearances for us, so I was happy with this trade. The game did not rate my move well, giving it an F, but I was happy with our work. Welcome, Lyndon Gooch. And just like that, our confidence rating from the board has gone up to 89. Obviously, very happy with the 2 North American-based players that we've brought in. Very happy indeed. As we move into the first game of the episode, first game of the new year 2023, and it is Newcastle at home. And wouldn't you just know it, Jamal Lascelles making his debut against the club he left us for all those years ago. Playing in a back 5, Lascelles comes straight in, debut versus his old club. We did lose the reverse fixture 3-1 back in October. Newcastle was 2nd at the time, so they've dropped down a little bit. They're now in 8th. Still having a good season though for the Magpies. And as you will see, Lingard would make it 1-0, filling in for the injured Gibbs White. He's really stepping up, is Jesse. I'm happy with his progress, and he's definitely eased the pressure with Gibbs White being injured. The lead wouldn't last too long though. Bruno Guimaraes would make it 1-0. The Brazilian has been huge for Newcastle, and you can tell the influence he's had on the team. Since his straight red card in Newcastle's Carabao Cup semi-final, second leg away at St Mary's against Southampton, he had to miss 3 games due to the suspension. And I think in those 3 games, Newcastle have not won a game. They've drawn 2 and lost to Liverpool. And the game against Liverpool, Nick Pope, the goalkeeper, got straight red as well. Now he'll miss the Carabao Cup final, which is huge. And with their backup, Dubravka, Cup tied because he played for United on loan, who they're playing in the final, the responsibility lies with Loris Karius, the man who severely cost Liverpool a Champions League win against Real Madrid back in 2018. Will he step up for Newcastle? Who knows? Maybe he can provide them with their first major trophy in 68 years. We will see. Going back into the game, you would have seen Alisson Maximin scored a power shot to take it to 2-1. One you did hit the bar. Pope made a save from Dennis. It was a pretty even game. Newcastle just the more clinical, unfortunately, and it would be 2 wins for Newcastle against us this season. They do the league double, not a dream return for Lascelles, but we move on. You would have seen Cook and Biancone both happy with their transfer status being changed. Cook being added to the transfer list, Biancone available for loan. As we move into the second game of the episode, and it's a cup game, FA Cup time. We're out of the League Cup. Can we have a little FA Cup run? Well, we would welcome League 2 Sutton to the City ground. 11 changes for this one. Debut at right wing back for Gooch. First appearance of the season for Harry Arter, who has been transfer listed and probably will be leaving. And we would be facing a Sutton side who are probably most known for their goalkeeper eating a pie live on the BBC. Wayne Shaw, the reserve goalkeeper, was seen eating a pie on the bench during the then non-league side FA Cup fifth round game against Arsenal back in the 2016-17 season. He was later fined and banned as it was revealed he'd been set up. It was quite comical. A lot of people will remember Sutton for that moment. That was, of course, when they were a non-league side. They've now been promoted to League Two. They're currently sat just outside the playoffs, 2 points in 2 places adrift. This is only their second season in their history that they have been in the Football League, so they've impressed so far. Even last season, which was their first season in the league, they finished 8th, so they've adapted to the Football League impressively. With eyes back on the match, though, this would be a topsy-turvy game. We would go 1-0 down, still no clean sheet. Honestly, I just don't think it's ever going to come at this point. Emmanuel Dennis would make it 1-1 just after half-time, so Sutton actually held a lead at half-time, and they did have me worrying a little bit, but 5 minutes into the restart, and we turned it around 2-1, Emmanuel Dennis at the double. Surridge would make it 3-1, an assist from our youngster Ben Farmer, who we played in cam today actually. It was the first time we played him there after changing his position to a cam, so hopefully we'll see more of him in that position. Maybe now that Gibbs White is injured as well, he might have an appearance or two. Sutton would make it 3-2. Honestly, Hennessy, I know he's our backup goalkeeper, but he's just awful. He had an absolute clanger, could have saved 2 or 3 of their goals. Dennis would get his hat-trick after good work from Toffolo. They would make it 4-3, but we would go through with a 4-3 victory into the next round of the FA Cup. And as you will see, Sociedad would come in for an offer for league top scorer Awoniyi, but we said no. I did say this is a realistic career mode, so if a bigger offer comes in from like a big club, I will consider it. And I had a look at La Liga, and they're sat in 13th, so it would actually be a downgrade on Forest at the moment. So I'm quite happy to say that we rejected that offer, and he is staying at the City ground for now at least. We want him to drag us through this season. But going into the third and final game, and it would be Derby Day once again. The Foxes away. Can we get one over on our bitter rivals? Leicester have only lost 4 games this season. They're sat in 10th currently, 6 wins, 11 draws, 4 defeats. They're 2 points above us, so a win for us would see us leapfrog our rivals. But yeah, only 4 defeats this season is very, very impressive. Us, on the other hand, we have 10. Going into the lineup, we made 11 changes from the cup win, as you expect, back to a recognisable team. We did draw 1-1 with Leicester back at the City ground in September. Awoniyi and Vardy, no surprise there, both scoring. And Leicester would come out on top, Daka hitting the bar almost instantly. After that, we tried to basically ease the game. We wanted to keep that clean sheet if possible. And just inside the second half, Awoniyi would capitalise on a mistake between the centre-back and the goalkeeper, and his header would just go over the line before it got cleared out. And the top scorer remains hot. He puts us 1-0 up. But it wouldn't last long. What do you expect? Jorge de Frutos, the Spanish winger, now playing at Leicester, plays a 1-2 off the post. He's that good. He's playing 1-2s off the woodwork, and gets his own rebound, converts, makes it 1-0, stops us getting that clean sheet. Awoniyi would have an effort just go over the bar. As we looked to respond in this game, it was back and forth. It was tight. I was obviously trying to keep that clean sheet. Once the clean sheet went, I was pushing for the winner, but I was still also happy with a point. This team are above us. We are a new side in this league, even though our league position would say that we're doing comfortably. We still are happy with a point away from home, but it wouldn't be. Jamie Vardy, the absolute legend, not in our books, scores his 12th goal of the season in the 89th minute to give the home side a victory that would send the home fans mental. It's a 2-1 victory for Leicester. They get the job done against us, and it's 2 defeats in the league in a row for us. Twice we've led, twice we've lost. We need to... Well, it's no secret, is it? We need to work on our defence. It's not been good. We've been poor at the back. But we brought in Jamal Lascelles, we brought in Lyndon Gooch. Maybe we'll bring in some other defenders before the end of the January transfer window. If there's anyone you think I should bring in, let me know in the comments. But for now, that will be the end of the episode. We're still sat in around mid-table, so we're not looking too bad. But, we don't want to get in a bad run of form. We know how important momentum is on this game. But that will be it for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed, guys. Leave a like on it, as always, if you enjoyed. And I'll catch you on the next episode of Realistic Career Mode. Peace.